you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Barnetta, and this is the part of the video where I usually say you should subscribe and join this amazing community, which you should, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I have had a spicy week already and it's only Tuesday. But despite the fact there's like a whirlwind going on around me right now, I'm feeling really good, and I just wanted to talk about something that I've been really wanting to bring up on this channel for quite some time, because I am someone who has chosen to follow her passion in life, and I truthfully love the work that I do. But if I could go back and talk to my 18-year-old self when I was deciding to take the road less traveled, I wish I knew the things I've learned now. So if you are really young, a teenager or early 20s, deciding to give the practical life up and go after your hopes, dreams, and wishes, I'm just gonna say you absolutely should, but just be aware of these 5 things you'll learn along the way, and let's get right into those lessons. And number 1, and this is my biggest pet peeve, is there's this old saying that says, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. That person does not do what they love, because if you are doing what you love, you are gonna grind it out and work way harder for way longer, because it just means so much to you. And there are most likely a lot of people out there that love doing things like engineering and mathematics, but a lot of times when I hear follow your passion and your hopes and dreams, it's usually in, like I said, a path less traveled. So maybe you want to open your own business, maybe you want to become an artist, a designer, a musician, a professional athlete, something that is not seen as the protocol or the natural way to go about things. So usually if that's the case, that is a field that you really have to focus even more on, work 10 times harder to get ahead in. There's probably a ton of competition, and the truth is, if you sleep, you are not going to succeed in that space. So if you are about to take the plunge and to go into something like art or design like I did, get ready to work. Don't think that you're just gonna be sitting there loving every minute of what you do, because you will be enjoying it, but you'll also be working your ass off because it means so much more to you. And number 2, based on working your butt off, the burnout is real, especially if you're just going 24/7 following your passion. If you have a 9 to 5, that is what you want to do with your life. So for example, I'm a designer, so 9 to 5, I'm designing, pursuing that, and then on the weekends and after work, I'm working on this YouTube channel. So I'm really just trying to create as much content as I can. And when you really devote your life to creation or pushing yourself towards that goal or passion you want to follow, you are going to get burnt out. I call it the creative burnout, but you can call it whatever you want. It's just going to happen. And that makes it so much more crucial for you to take time to relax and recover. And of course, I said it's going to be a lot of hard work, but you have to work hard, play hard. So when you're feeling like you are hitting that wall and you can't keep going, just take a step back and remember to breathe and to relax a little bit. This is definitely something I have had to learn throughout this process. I'm a self-proclaimed workaholic, and yes, being a workaholic I don't think is a bad thing, but it's also not good to get so burnt out that you can't provide value. And when you are following your passion, providing value and good work is the best you can do. So again, work hard, keep grinding it out, but remember to rest when you need it. Lesson 3, what I'm currently dealing with right now is that the disappointment is real because you care so much. So many times when you are following your passion, you tend to have a 9 to 5 job that is related to your line of work. And if that's the case, since you care and give a crap so much about what you're doing and pursuing, it's very hard to be okay when a company isn't seeing the way you see things or isn't in alignment with what you know to be true, because you just eat, sleep, and breathe this thing. And when someone can't see your full vision, it's hard to detach yourself from that. So if you are someone who's working 9 to 5, my advice for you is to really learn to give it your all at work, but understand how to cut the cord and develop your own personal brand, because developing yourself is the most important thing you can do. I mean, that's why we're in our passion to begin with, but treat yourself as your own small business, even if you aren't an entrepreneur or you are an entrepreneur or a want-entrepreneur. You have to focus on yourself, because you never know what could happen with a company. Even if you work for someone as amazing as Google or Amazon or YouTube, you don't know what could happen at that company. They could lay you off. They could have you work on a huge project that you were really obsessed with. You gave a lot of your personal time to, and you were so devoted to them. They can cut ties whenever they want, and at the end of the day, you just have yourself. So even if you're following your passion, and that is tied to a 9-to-5, it is always best to find personal fulfillment somehow outside of that 9-to-5, and that way you aren't feeling like your soul is being crushed because the thing that you care about the most isn't aligning with your own personal goals, values, and vision. Number 4 is that community is key. Those days where you feel like you're so burnt out you can't work anymore, the days where you're disappointed because your 9-to-5 isn't doing what you think is the best direction, for all those times where you just have little disappointments along the way, surrounding yourself in people who are just as passionate about what you're working on or in general are just uplifting is so key to your own success. Whenever I feel down, I have a few go-to friends who I can talk to who will say, hey, have you listened to this podcast? It'll really get you pumped up. Have you thought of it from this direction or angle? Or in general, they'll just remind me that I am doing the best I can and that I am awesome and that I need to keep going. But if you're in a spot right now where you feel like you are just not making any movements on where you want to go, find that person who can give you a great pep talk and really cling to them. Keep them as close as possible, and when you're super down, remember what they would say about you so you can keep moving forward and make those dreams happen, because they will, and you just need to have that right group of people around you to continue to lift you up. And the 5th and final lesson is that you can have it all. A lot of times when you are saying and declaring that you're going to go after this thing that most people don't think you can make it in, they are going to say just that. They're going to say, oh, you'll be a starving artist, or writers don't make any money, or you probably will never make it as a professional athlete. Do you know how rare it is? You are going to hear that so frequently, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are wrong. Never listen to someone who gave up on their own dreams. That is the best advice I can give you. Listen to those people who have made it. Watch the TED Talks, listen to the podcast, watch the YouTube videos, watch whatever you can get your hands on to remember that there are people in this world that have made it doing exactly what you want to do, and the only thing that separates you from them is the fact that they are there and you're not there yet. There's no difference between you and them. They're just a person who has been able to achieve the thing that you want. And when you put that into perspective, that even if they are so amazing, even if they're the huge CEO of something, even if they're the most famous artist you know, that doesn't matter. They're still just a person, and if a regular person just like them can make it, so can you. And even personally, I know so many thriving artists and designers that are not like the Van Gogh of our time. They're wildly talented, but they're not world renowned, and they are making a decent living. And that should be enough to keep you going, knowing that you can do what you want and you can make a living. Really never listen to someone who's a naysayer, because that's all they are. That's it. That's plain and simple. I know you can do whatever it is that you want to pursue, and as someone who heard you're going to be a starving artist, look at me now. I mean, I'm just on YouTube here, but I am a working 9-to-5 designer in a small town. You can do it. If I can do it, you can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I said I'm really not going to get into the whole subscription thing, but if you want to subscribe, please do. And as always, I hope you remember that there is no one like you. You are loved and you are beautiful inside and out. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.